Okay, this is breaking news, but a new leaked email says that there are photos of Donald Trump giving George Sloppodopoulos to Bill Clinton.
This was not meant to be seen. TikTok's platform with millions of users has a much darker side that you were never aware of. And these things may leave you scarred forever. But that's why I'm gonna take you guys along with me. And I don't know if you guys are ready for what we're about to uncover. But if you are, make sure you watch till the end of the video because this is going to be terrifying. And don't watch alone because this is gonna get disturbing. What's even scarier than the TikToks we're about to watch today is the fact that 75% of you guys are not subscribed to the channel. So make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe for more scary videos. Thank you.
This is why you should never stay at a rental house in Mexico. Creator Lexi Haley and her friends were on a bachelorette trip in Tulum, Mexico. They used a company that offered 24/7 security, but the guard was off duty for personal reasons. The company refused her vetted security and insisted that a family friend come be her guard. The last night of their trip at 3 a.m., they returned home from the club to see their room ransacked. Items were stolen, like the passport, the jewelry, the computers, everything. And this man covering the camera was the family friend who was supposed to be the security guard. They then called the police, who barely investigated the situation. The authorities then insisted that the girls go with them to retrieve the passports. The girls felt unsafe and refused to go into the car. The police were trying to force the girls to get their passports at this place called Cenote Calavera, also known as the Temple of Doom. And it was like 3 a.m. So obviously this made them feel really weird and really unsafe, and they refused. It was really strange because they were trying to force them to go. This is 17 girls, the 2 police officers, the villa owner, and the security guard friend. They had a driver for the trip and they called him to take them to the airport instead, and they ran in the kitchen and they got kitchen utensils to use as like weapons if they needed it. And while they were driving to the airport, they looked at the GPS the entire time to make sure he was going the right way. So then they get to the airport and they find out it's closed and they're not allowed to fly without documentation because remember, their passports were all stolen. They had pictures of their passports, their IDs, their birth certificates, but it didn't matter, it didn't work. This means that they had to go to the embassy, which was 3.5 hours away in Cancun. And on top of that, it was closed on Sundays. So they went to Cancun for 3 more days to wait for their emergency passports to be ready. That's when they found out that a local resident confirmed that these police officers in Tulum in the villa were fake. There had been no 911 call, no dispatch, no police report. So all of this, on top of the security guard covering the camera, proves that this was an inside job. And all of their stuff was stolen, right? Including their AirPods, but they have trackers on the AirPods. So they were tracking the AirPods during this. And they were seeing that these AirPods were going to and from the villa they were staying at, which also proves that this was an inside job. This robbery was planned so carefully. Like, think about it. This was the last night of their trip. They were returning from the club at 3 a.m. The people who owned the villa knew their schedule. They knew they'd be exhausted and vulnerable, and that their flights were early the next day and the embassy was closed. Like, the perpetrators had their passports and were likely intending on something much worse happening. Like, imagine if these girls got in the car with them. You can never ever be safe, even in a large group of women. People are crazy. Thank God she is okay.
Lucky for these girls, these criminals were not very smart. Because if someone robs your house and the police says, oh yeah, we're gonna go get it, how would you know where it is? Like, no, go get it and bring it back to me. I'm not a police officer, so why am I sliding with you? But y'all women just be safe out there because there is a lot of weird ditties on the street.
So it seems like every time I go down a McDonald's rabbit hole, it makes me want to stop eating there forever. So I just dropped a video showing y'all that McDonald's sells at least 6.5 million hamburgers a day. And guess what? 5.4 million of those hamburgers are sold in the United States. But this shit take the cake. Look at this shit.
Went to McDonald's and I wanted to get a sausage McGriddle and a large orange juice. I don't ever eat McDonald's because it messes with my stomach.
Watch when you see
Heard
this
the
shit.
rumors, but I was like, you know what? I need something cheap, something quick.
Watch when you see
I gotta
this
go
shit.
into work. So I'm eating, right? This is
Oh, nah.
as far as I got.
No.
A couple bites.
Look at this shit.
And I feel something in my mouth.
No.
And I'm thinking, fuck, did I chip my tooth?
Nah.
So I'm feeling around. Nope, not me.
What was it?
It's this.
What is that? Nah.
It's a fucking tooth.
And again, I'm not implying anything. I'm not saying anything at all. I just want to...
A 2-year-old was sentenced to life in prison in North Korea because their parents was found with a Bible
in their possession. So not only was the parent sentenced to life, but the 2-year-old was sentenced to life in prison. People caught with a copy of the Bible in North Korea face the death penalty, while their families, including children, are sentenced to life in prison. So if you're caught with a Bible, your life will be taken, and your family's lives will be sentenced to life in prison. That's how serious North Korea is about people not learning who the one true God is. Not only will you be taken down, but your family members who have nothing to do with it will also be taken down because you had a Bible. Christians in North Korea are subjected to the harshest treatments. Authorities once forced them to stand for 40 days straight, causing inmates to lose the ability to sit down. Christians are regarded as one of the lowest rung of North Korea's society and are constantly vulnerable and in danger.
How is he gonna serve life? He can't even walk yet. Is he going to jail or like daycare? Like, what? He's not even aware that he exists yet, and you're gonna send him to jail forever?
Do you think the three-eye atlas is not only a real thing, but it's extraterrestrial, and we're gonna get reveal of ETs?
Yeah, so there's an extraterrestrial component on it. I did see it in my remote viewing. And it was interesting because what were we talking about? How there was a signal, was it in the 70s?
Yeah, 1977, there was a radio signal from Three-Eye Atlas, and they said that it was signaling to them.
But there was a specific length of the signal. The signal's length equaled to Anu's number.
Really?
You know who else is connected to him? It's Trump.
How so?
So when I have remote viewed him, Trump is no longer Trump. Something embodying him, and it was a reptilian. This thing was pretty massive. There was underground tunnels under his house, and I saw whatever this thing was is under there.
Right.
I think it's Anu who's coming in and now playing the part of Trump and being positioned for this arrival. We are going to have many arrivals. I mean, humanity is at a point where we can handle these bigger events because it is really time that we understand how we got here, what we're connected to, and essentially where we're going, right? In the golden age, that is all Anunnaki.
Right.
Gold. That's their biggest prize.
So do you think this is going to happen in our lifetime?
Oh, yes. Well, and it's not just the Anunnaki, right? But they have seeded other life in other systems, and they have disrupted other systems. There are many people who are alive who have other versions of themselves in these Anunnaki systems. So when you awaken in this life, in this body, you help the other versions of yourself become unstuck.
Project Stargate and Project Sunstreak, those projects have psychics and remote viewers. This is all documented.
It's all documented.
So it's not like some fairy tale. The CIA has been using this for a long time. This is how they found the Ark of the Covenant, through remote viewing, psychic soldiers. The fact that you're disclosing all this, I like to give reference to those things because people are like, oh yeah, it's bullshit. Nah, you think that the government's gonna waste their time and money and energy doing all this stuff, creating all these programs, finding items, remote viewing, seeing things, going to different timelines. The CIA we were talking about hemisync. They used these frequencies to pair your left hemisphere with your right hemisphere, which shows how our reality is constructed. And they confirmed that our reality is nothing but a supercomputer. It's all a projection hologram. It's all energy based. And people can even go to sleep and type it into Spotify. There's hemisync frequencies like meditation. It's, all these things layered. I say all that to say that this is all documented and these methods actually exist.
Do I think this is just a distraction to keep us all focused on some nonsense? Yes. But you guys let me know what you think about this.
Have you ever heard of the Blank Room soup video?
No.
This thing, I'm surprised you haven't. Been all over the internet for years. So this actually happened around 2005, and this channel on YouTube, so this is early YouTube, decided to upload a video of this guy who is sitting down at a table and he's eating soup pretty much. This guy that's wearing like this big mascot costume almost, and it looks like a guy, like it's just a mascot of a random guy.
Yeah.
He walks in the room and these two guys are both wearing the same costume, just standing there almost like watching him eat the soup. So people believe in this video, the guy that is sitting there, he was kidnapped by these two men who decided to dress up like this, and they decided to upload this YouTube video.
Really?
To be cryptid. Yeah, they wanted it to be this type of video where they were like, oh yeah, people aren't gonna know that we're really gonna do something to this guy.
Yeah.
There are two different theories. They're making him eat his wife, or they're making him eat his kids, which is in that soup.
Really?
Yeah, and there's a bunch of people that have speculated this for years, bro, since all the way back then.
And is there any evidence that points to that
being true. Yes, but I wouldn't be able to say all of the evidence right now that I remember. I'm just going based off of my memory. But there's a bunch of people that are going to be able to back this up from what I'm saying, because this has been a theory for years. There are other people that assume that this could just be the creator who wanted to do something artistic. That's what other people assume as well. That this is just like a horror artistic type of vision.
But it looks very disturbing.
But it looks very disturbing. So I wanted to just show you the video, and I want you to tell me how you see it.
Okay. What the hell?
You see the way he's eating it?
Yeah.
Uzi has a game to play. How many times can you say his name? Uzi, 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 6.
Lil Uzi Vertical's long-awaited concert tour has officially begun, and some fans are saying they felt like they were a part of some type of ritual. Now, before I show you the rest of the clip, you heard that girl say that Uzi has a game to play. How many times can you say his name? And she says it 6 times. Now, if you keep repeating his name, Lil Uzi Vert, it starts to sound like the name Lucifer, and it's no coincidence she said it 6 times, the devil's number. Now, watch the rest of this clip, and I'll be sure to keep you guys updated on the rest of his concert tour.
Oh, wow. So you're telling me this whole time that my favorite sweetener is actually doing me more bad than good? And if I continue consuming this bad good, I might eventually ruin my health within my body? You motherfuckers. You motherfuckers. Not only does it mess me up, but it completely disrupts every organ in my body. Oh, wow. We understand it now. Addicted to what? Cavities and tooth decay? Clogged arteries? Liver failure? Weight gain? Total cellular disruption.
Jim Carrey is gone. He's gone, fool. Jim Carrey is gone. We are starting to see this more and more often when it comes to these Hollywood celebrities, where they're just not looking the same anymore. And no, I'm not talking about old age. I'm talking about the whole facial appearance gone, like changing. And most of them don't just be a little slight change. It'd be a major change, y'all. Look at Jim Carrey. This man looked totally different. Am I tripping? Let me know down below in the comments if I'm tripping. But I know this man looked totally different, fool. This whole little event, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame thing, was weird in general. Y'all know who this girl is, right? This is this girl right here, all grown up, 25 years later. This is also the girl. Just take a look at what's going on in the picture, fool. This right here should just let you know that this whole little shit is weird, fool. I can't say too much, but y'all see what I'm trying to get at, right? Shit weird, fool.
The video you just watched shows Rihanna when she was dealing with the most mysterious woman in Hollywood, and what they're preparing is terrifying. You need to watch closely how people treat this woman because she's special. Here it's a bit later. We see her backstage at an A$AP Rocky event. What nobody understands is how this woman manages to have such tight connections with almost every celebrity. There are tons of photos and videos of her with Kim Kardashian, Migos, Kanye West, A$AP A$AP Rocky, and many others. You could name almost any celebrity. She definitely has their contact. We want to know exactly who this woman is. At first glance, she appears to be a fashion designer, director, producer, but she's mostly known for being married to Rick Owens, and that's where real questions start. For those who don't know, Rick Owens is nicknamed the Dark Lord of Fashion. So this woman is married to the Dark Lord, and she's a creator herself. The worst part is that she's already been seen wearing a sculpture of her husband's head as an accessory. No normal person does that. And why is she so close to all these young artists? Probably not just to make clothes for them. Something darker has to be hidden behind it. The thing is, she's also seen in a huge number of photos with Marina Abramovic, known for her very particular art, but also for her controversial practices like spirit cooking. This woman is so mysterious, you won't find any clear answer about her. But if you have an idea of what her secret might be, share it in the comments so everyone can know.
What the fuck is Apple doing? They just dropped the Apple Pocket. It is definitely the worst product they have ever dropped. Looks like it's a Thanid from the Lorax. If I see that anywhere in public, I swear, Apple needs to literally figure it out.
More weird stuff about Tom Hanks, part 3. For years, to those not caught up, Tom Hanks has been posting weird things like this, lost articles of clothing he comes across. A lot of them are babies, toddlers, and women, and it has theorized many people to possibly think that there's a little more going on. These odd posts, coupled with accusations coming from Sarah Ruth Ashcraft, who claimed that Tom bought her when she was 13 years old from her father, and the late great actor Isaac Cappy, who made accusations toward Hanks and shortly after threw himself off a bridge, apparently. Mind you, this guy said he was in no danger of doing this to himself many times before that. Also, guys, what are the chances? He's receiving a Presidential Medal of Freedom. He's such a great guy. This is also another picture I found. Tom Hanks posing with this boy who looks asleep on a table. It's very eerie. It's very creepy, coupled with the accusations. Tom Hanks and his team would come out and say, you know, the kid was just kidding. It was a gag. But still, with all the things going on and the accusations, you can't help but think. Here we have Tom Hanks' daughter, and in her memoir, she literally wrote about—
Yeah, I don't know what Tom Hanks got going on. A lot of his behavior is very strange. Someone of his status, it would not be surprising to see that he's involved with very bad people. It's actually a really random fact, but you know, I met his son one time. I was with my friend, we were shooting a video, and he was like, yo, bro, is that Tom Hanks' son? And I was like, I don't know. But yeah, apparently it was Tom Hanks' son, so that's just a random fact.
So 50 Cent's son hated his dad so much that he hanged out with the people who shot him 9 times. It all started when 50 and his baby mama Shaniqua broke up, causing things to get ugly quick between the two, as Shaniqua sued 50 for $50 million, claiming that 50 told her that he would take care of her for the rest of her life. But unfortunately, she wouldn't win. Now, Shaniqua and 50 Cent's son, Marquise, were staying at one of 50's homes, but randomly, while they were sleeping, the house was caught on fire, and it ended up completely getting burned down. But still, the question was, how did this happen? But Shaniqua seemed to have the answers, as she blamed 50 for this. But obviously, 50 declined these accusations, and when Shaniqua and Marquise found a new place to stay, Shaniqua wouldn't tell 50 where his son was located. So 50 sued her for the false claims and keeping his son away from him. But even with the lawsuit, Marquise would spend most of his time with his mom, and this is what caused the relationship between the two to go downhill, as his mom would only badmouth 50 and put ideas in Marquise's head of how bad of a person he was. And their relationship got worse when Marquise took a photo with the son of the man who was behind the pew-pewing of his father. But 50 commented on their post and said that he wouldn't have a bad day if the both of them were gone tomorrow. But still, 50 was left heartbroken and just confused on why his son hated him so much. But comment down below your thoughts on this and follow for more music content.
Bruh, did y'all hear about this new bee they just found? And I'm not making this shit up, y'all. It's a horned bee. And they're naming it the Lucifer bee. So out of all names, they just came up with the name the Lucifer bee. Scientists was just like, yeah, let's call it the Lucifer bee. Y'all think I'm playing about this bee? Look at this shit. This is the bee right here, y'all. And I'm not gonna lie, I wouldn't want this ugly ass junk to land on me. Fuck no. Look how that junk look. It's like gray, black. Then the stinger around that junk brown. But I'm still not understanding why they call this junk the Lucifer bee. I'm not gonna lie, y'all. Every time they find a creature, a new discovery or some shit, them Jones be looking crazy as fuck. And then they always hit the same line. You shouldn't be worried. They're harmless. Yeah, alright. Y'all, and the crazy part about this, They didn't find that bee in like a cave. They said they found that joint in normal places like normal people will be. Just walking, and they happen to stumble across that joint. So you mean to tell me we got new creatures just spawning? Ain't no way, bruh. Like, how do shit like that just happen? You got bees with little horns now. Next thing, you about to have butterflies with stingers. Or you about to have fucking spiders with wings.
He convinced her he was a 300-year-old werewolf, and it led to one of the most disturbing crimes in Canadian history. In 2006, 12-year-old Jasmine Richardson fell into a secret relationship with 23-year-old Jeremy Steinke, a self-proclaimed 300-year-old werewolf with a history of abuse, drugs, and violent fantasies. The pair openly talked about murdering people, even modeling themselves after natural-born killers. On the night of April 23rd, Steinke slipped into the Richardson home while high and drunk and stabbed Jasmine's mother 24 times, then brutally killed her father after telling him it's what your daughter wanted. Upstairs, Jasmine murdered her 8-year-old brother as he tried to defend himself with a toy lightsaber. Hours later, instead of hiding, the couple went to a party laughing, making out, and laughing about how her little brother gargled as he died. Arrested the next morning, Jasmine became Canada's youngest person ever convicted of multiple murders. She served the maximum youth sentence, had her record completely wiped in 2020, changed her name, and now lives in the community. While Steinke, now calling himself Jackson May, serves life with parole eligible in 2032.
Doritos and Cheetos are about to be a lot less colorful. If you don't already know, Doritos and Cheetos are the color that they are because of artificial coloring. Now, artificial colors are not exactly the best thing for you. Because of this, Doritos and Cheetos have decided to make a change and get rid of those artificial colors. They're making a new version of Doritos and Cheetos that will be a lot less colorful, but also not have any of those artificial colors or flavors. Now, according to PepsiCo, who owns the brands, it still tastes the same, it's just less of the bad stuff.
Like, yeah, we're done poisoning y'all. We're gonna actually make chips the way they're supposed to be. And it's so crazy that people are like kind of welcoming of this. They're like, oh, I'm so happy our chips aren't gonna poison us anymore. Like, oh, I thought it should have been like that I thought it should have been like that to begin with. The government could literally steal people's legs and then give them fake ones back and be like, oh yeah, here, now you can walk. And they'd be like, oh, thank you so much. Like, no, bro, they took your legs.
Y'all cannot tell me there's not a clear agenda. Look at this shit. Look what LeBron got in his hand, fool. Ain't no girl around him. His wife Savannah not there. So why he got her purse? Stop with that fashion shit. That's not a handbag. That's a fucking purse. Then look at the way he got his hands. That's zesty Braun. This shit crazy, fool. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this down below in the comments.
50 has leaked footage that J-Lo was having relations with underage boys, alleging that Diddy was blackmailing her this whole time with the threat of releasing the tape. It was not just the one incident where we have heard in the nightclub that the pew pew was brought in by her, and some have shared that she was the one who actually pew-pewed that night, but nothing's been confirmed. This is for entertainment purposes, just to have a discussion. But 50 would not release information like that if he didn't have the facts. The footage has been released. It's been scrubbed and wiped because she's with an underage boy. So that stuff's not gonna fly, but allegedly, she will be going down, and this is the reason Ben, who knew all about it, wanted to get out of the relationship as quickly as he did. He knew this was coming, and he didn't want to be tied to it, and many think it's because he has his own skeletons in the closet, and he's trying to pull himself out as far as he can.
Ew, what, bro, what do people got going on? Oh, you have all this money to do whatever you want, and this is what you do? Like, bro, what?
Certain concerts like Travis Scott.
Yeah.
They went through this portal looking thing. Literally people died. Children, young people died. They lost their lives. And guys, I write about that in my book about Hollywood. Whether people want to believe it or not, and they think it's a conspiracy thing, there are people that are doing things and having to do certain horrific things I don't even want to go into so they can climb a ladder. It gains them power in this world.
Let me just break this down very simply. Any normal person who accidentally unalive 10 people they probably struggle to live with themselves. Just Google said artist. Let's have a look if they look like what happens bothering them. And it'll just give you the answer that these people that everyone idolize do not give a shit about their fans. Stop worshipping false idols. The entertainment industry, they're all minions to the devil's domain. Wake up.
This doll was specifically made to curse people. It's one of the most haunted dolls that's in the Warrens occult. Warning for you guys don't have to look at the doll if you don't want to, but keep in mind, it could appear in your dreams and give you really, really bad nightmares.
Nah, bro, what the?
It's called the Shadow Doll or the Doll of Shadows.
That's very scary.
You never seen this before?
I've never seen that. It's definitely a very scary doll.
This doll is made up of human and animal bones, and it has a human tooth protruding out of it. And its hair is made out of feathers from crows. And it was specifically made for evil purposes through black magic rituals. And the Warrens explained how this curse would work. If you were to own the doll, you would basically take a picture of it, print out the picture, and you would write a curse on the back of the picture, and then you would send it out to whoever you want to curse. If it's somebody that you don't like, or someone pays you to send a picture to somebody, once they see the picture, if they don't believe it, they're like, it's just probably bullshit. They would start having really, really bad nightmares to the point where their heart would stop and they would have heart attacks. Does this kind of sound familiar?
Freddy Krueger?
Yes, kind of in a way, yes. Also, nobody really knows how many people it went through to get into the possession of the Warrens, but there is a story of the people who had it before the Warrens.
Why would they even have that?
I'm explaining it, bro. It was this couple that loved to collect dolls, and they went to this antique store searching for a new doll for the collection, and the owner of that store practically gave it to them. That's obviously a flag number, bro, of course.
Yeah.
So they take it back home, and automatically...
Oh yeah, this doll was made to curse you and ruin your life. Here's a close-up of it. Thank you. I'm really grateful and appreciative that you would ever show me something like that. Thank you. I mean, I guess that's what we signed up for. We're on the dark side of TikTok, so.
There's this one video.
Okay.
It's going pretty viral right now.
Yeah.
It's in China. A lot of people say when they look in this well, they either see their past lives of a life they lived before, or they see their relatives. The video.
Damn.
But there's like a huge lineup. All of these different people, they see their relatives. It's supposed to be a well, and at the bottom there's obviously water. In the reflection, you're supposed to see the relative or your past life.
I want to see people crying.
So there's all these monks that come there, right? Look, you can hear them crying.
That's so scary, dog.
Yeah, and they look inside and they can see it.
That's scary.
So how about we go to China and check it out?
Yo, I'm watching.
But would you want to see
I
your
wouldn't
past
want to
life?
see that.
You know what would be crazy? This is where ready?
Okay.
What if you look in and
Okay, this is breaking news, but a new leaked email from the deceased that was best friends with Donald Trump and Bill Clinton says that there are photos of Donald Trump giving George Slopadopoulous to Bill Clinton. While they're waiting on an official vote on the actual FBI files, the House Democrats have subpoenaed a bunch of emails from the estate of the person that did not unalive himself. And these are thousands and thousands of emails, okay? Too many for any one person to vet by themselves. It's too much for even like a whole organization of people who are professionals in doing that to do even like the span of like a couple of months. So it's taking a while for all the emails to become public knowledge, but the one that has been making the rounds on the internet right now is a private conversation between the deceased individual and someone else where they're gossiping about Trump, and they say that Vladimir Putin might have pictures of Donald Trump kissing Bill Clinton, but he ain't kissing him on the mouth. Now, we don't know, right? We don't know, but this is a private conversation between two people that thought these things would never ever release, right? And I don't know what to believe. I'm just telling you the facts here, yo.
What happened to that girl on the plane that swore there was a non-human sitting next to her? Do you guys remember that? Because right after that, she disappeared. Back in July of 2023, a woman went viral in American Airlines because she was freaking out, claiming that someone sitting next to her was not a human. He was not real, which freaked out everyone. She looked completely terrified, like if she saw something that she wasn't supposed to see. People joked and said she was drunk or on something, but body language experts said that she was genuinely terrified. The kind of fear your brain releases when you were not supposed to see something, or when you just can't explain what's in front of you. After this video went viral, she went completely silent. No interviews, no reactions, no nothing. It was like if she had just disappeared. Months later, she appeared in like this one interview. It was like an interview or like a video of her apologizing, but everyone claimed that she looked completely different. She was just too nervous, too weird. It looked like she was almost coached on what to say. What do you guys think?
Jaden, is that you? What's going on, Jaden? Why is your face red? Why is your teeth red? Because I know people that don't even want yellow teeth. So you mean to tell me you run around here with red teeth? No. What's going on with Jaden though, guys? He was just good. Like, come on, Jaden Smith, don't start this. Jaden, cut it out, Jaden. Anybody close by Jaden, please have a talk with him. Because something seems off. Jaden, come on, bro. Like, what is this really about? Oh, we know what this is about. Question is, do you know what this is about? Nothing. Just entertainment purposes only. He's an entertainer. Come on, you know how they do. Every now and then, something new has to happen. All red everything. Bro, come on. Red teeth? People are saying that your teeth are permanently red. I said, no, there's no way that's possible. Because people usually want their teeth permanently white. I don't know. If I walked in the crib and I seen you looking like this, I'll be kind of scared. If anybody knows Jaden Smith, please go check on him. If there's anybody that knows what's going on with Jaden, let me know.
This was one of the most shocking moments in WWE history. In June 2007, WWE was preparing to air a live 3-hour episode of Raw, but one of their top wrestlers, Chris Benoit, was missing. 2 days earlier, he told friends his wife and son were sick with food poisoning. Hours before the show, he sent strange texts with his home address and instructions for his dogs. No one realized something was seriously wrong. That night, instead of the usual matches, WWE streamed tribute show for Benoit, who was reported dead along with his family. Wrestlers shared emotional stories, calling him a loving husband and father.
I firmly believe this is the most difficult thing that I've ever had to do. Respect for his family, respect for himself.
But something didn't end up. As investigators looked deeper into the case, they found an old WWE promo Benoit recorded years earlier. In that footage, he looked into the camera and said,
"My wife and my children will not be watching Raw because I am going to do something that is unthinkable."
This serial killer wax museum is something straight out of nightmares. I was recently traveling throughout Italy, and while in Florence, I came across the Florence Serial Killer Museum. If you visit this museum, you will see wax figures of some of the most horrifying people that have ever lived. This includes the Monster of Florence, plus serial killers from throughout Europe. They even had a wax figure of James Holmes, the Dark Knight theater shooter. This whole experience was incredibly disturbing. I honestly never saw anything quite like this. I also learned a few grim stories while there, like the story of this woman who actually killed 3 women and turned at least one of them into bars of soap. They had an Ed Gein exhibit too. And yeah, after doing some research, this place is incredibly controversial in Italy. But when I visited it, the place was very busy. I cannot honestly say that I've ever seen something quite like this. But this is video proof that this place does exist. You need to follow for more true crime facts. Don't lose this channel. Hit that subscribe button and like the video.
McDonald's, we're coming for you. I think this nation is about to uncover one of the largest human trafficking to human cannibalistic rings this world has ever known. And it all leads back to McDonald's. Y'all remember Darius Cosley, right? They linked the tunnel from his situation at the Black Rock Community Center back to the McDonald's that his girlfriend worked at, the baby mama worked at. Keanu Reeves goes in for an interview at a Cracker Barrel. She gets done at the interview, calls her mom immediately afterwards. She steps outside, lets her mom know it didn't really vibe right. She doesn't think the interview went too well. She said, "I'm gonna use the restroom real quick and then hit the road because it's a 33-mile drive back home." Her mom said, "Fine." They get off the phone. She did mention to her mother that John Gacy, the manager who interviewed her at Cracker Barrel, asked her some pretty unsettling questions about her COVID-19 vaccination and whether she was an organ donor. So after hours pass and her mom doesn't hear her, she starts calling and frantically looking for her daughter. The authorities show up and they see on the cameras her walking back into the Cracker Barrel, entering the restroom, but never walking out. Fast forward to today, in a shocking twist, a case that has haunted Detroit for days now. Keanu Reeves has been found alive over 900 miles from home. Reeves, who vanished after a job interview at Cracker Barrel restaurant, was discovered bound with rope and duct tape in the back of a refrigerated delivery van headed to Lopez Foods in Oklahoma, a major meat supplier for McDonald's. The vehicle was stopped by Oklahoma State Police for a busted taillight. Inside, officers made the chilling discovery: Kiana, disoriented but alive, was immediately rushed to the hospital and is now in stable condition. The driver, 50-year-old Daniel Martinez, was arrested at the scene and is now facing kidnapping charges. Martinez, who has no criminal history, insists he had no idea Kiana was in the back of his van. He told the investigators he was simply making routine meat deliveries. The case has left authorities baffled. How did Kiana end up across state lines so quickly? And how did nobody notice her being transported in a commercial food shipment van? Reeves told police she remembers entering the restroom at the Cracker Barrel. Then everything went dark. I was washing my hands. The lights shut off. That's the last thing I remember. She reportedly told detectives. Her family is relieved she's been found alive, but with more questions than answers. The mystery surrounding her disappearance is far from over. Investigators are now turning their attention back to Michigan, where many believe the truth is still hiding in plain sight. It's called McDonald's. It's on every block, every neighborhood, in every town, every city. There is a link to this, and I bet you there's tunnels that lead from every McDonald's to every church, to every school, to every parish, to every Catholic school. Yep, it's all connected. To every lodge.
A lot of y'all in my comments be literally like some online FBI agents, so I'm gonna need y'all to let me know more about this situation. I don't know if it's just the names that sound off to me, because what do you mean John Gacy and Keanu Reeves? You know what I mean? Like, those names sound a little bit familiar. And, you know, I would not be surprised if it was true. I really wouldn't, because a lot of these things seem to really tie together. But you guys let me know what you think about this in the comments, or if you got more information about this, because I am curious.
Explaining the bizarre predator theory. Well, this theory suggests that humans were never truly at the top of the food chain. That, deep down, we were once hunted, and part of us still remembers that. Have you ever felt that strange sensation of being watched, even when you're completely alone? That sudden tension in the dark, or the chill running down your spine for no reason? According to this theory, that's not just paranoia, it's instinct. It claims that somewhere in our ancient past, something hunted us. A predator so intelligent, so perfect, that it left no trace. Only fear buried deep inside our DNA. The feeling when someone stares at you too long, the urge to look over your shoulder, the anxiety you can't explain. Maybe those are remnants of survival, echoes of when we weren't the hunters, but the prey. And the most disturbing part? Maybe that predator never truly disappeared. Maybe it learned how to hide, or worse, how to blend in among us. So next time you feel someone watching you, are you sure no one's there?
So I just watched this video of this girl that got into an Uber car. She said in the back of the car, this had candy and he had drinks in it. So the Uber driver was like, are you thirsty? Do you want something to drink or do you want some candy? Her ass gonna sit over here and say yes, so she took the drink. So she said she drinking and she said she noticed that something just tasted a little funny. So then she said she started to notice like at the bottom of her water bottle, it started to leak. So she said when she looked at her pan, she had noticed that she had like little droplets of water on her pan. So then she asked the Uber driver like, do you got another water bottle? So then she said as she was sitting there, she started to feel kind of weird. She said her stop had came up and he ended up letting her out the Uber car. So then after that, she took her ass over to the hospital. Why they said that in a water bottle, it was something in the water bottle. See, my thing is this. Some of y'all be a little bit too comfortable. Because ain't no way I'm getting into somebody's car. First of all, you don't even know this person. Secondly, didn't your mama teach you not to take candy from strangers? I don't understand how y'all be so willingly to try from people that y'all don't even know. I don't know if the girl must have felt safe because she was like, oh, this is an Uber driver and this do shit to me. Knowing that there's a lot of people that be driving Uber, they be into some off the wall. I don't know. I feel like when they be offering candy and drink, I automatically feel like they ass trying to kill or some shit. Like, I really feel like you gotta be a risk taker type of person and sit over here and eat some candy and drink some somebody that you don't even know.
This lady was a little irritating to listen to, but this is actually more common than you think. Like, I've been in a lot of Ubers and it's surprising how many times they've offered like water or like snacks or like candy, and I'm just like I understand trying to be polite to get a better rating. Like, literally, what did I tell you when you were a kid? Don't take candy from a stranger. I'm pretty sure they would tell you don't take candy from an Uber driver.
At first, it looked like just another normal gaming video. But what happened next made viewers seriously worried. A TikToker posted a clip of herself calmly playing Geometry Dash. Everything seems perfectly fine, until you notice a red laser dot pointed right at her. She smiles, pretending like nothing's wrong, but her eyes tell a completely different story. You can literally see the fear and tension in her face, like she's about to burst into tears. And then things get even creepier. In her next video, there are now multiple red laser dots aimed at her at once. She's trying so hard to hold it together, almost like she's afraid this might be her last stream. People in the comments started to suspect she wasn't making these videos by choice. That theory only grew stronger when they noticed she'd been streaming for days straight, almost without any breaks. It left everyone with way too many questions and a really uneasy feeling. But here's the scariest part. Recently, the girl just vanished. She hasn't posted anything or gone live in over a week. No videos, no updates, nothing. So what's really going on behind those disturbing videos? And where did this TikToker disappear to? Drop your theories in the comments.
The internet has gotten so crazy to the point where we can't even realize if someone actually needs help or not. Because this girl could literally be held hostage for all we know. That's exactly what it appears like. But hopefully this gets looked into and, you know, people figure out if everything's all right or not.
50 years, y'all, as the norm. 150 years sound cool, right? Until they tell you you gotta work 130 years just to reach retirement. I'm not gonna lie, y'all, this shit crazy though. They out here trying to make the lifespan longer when they're not trying to make it easier on life. That shit crazy, fool. And of course, as always, it seemed like Chinese is first with everything. The Chinese is the one that's making this drug that's gonna be possible for people to live to 150 years. Bruh, this all goes back to when the world leaders in Russia, North Korea, and China all met up and they all was talking about living forever and shit. And I remember I made a video, everybody was like, nah, they tripping. Now, the reports is coming out that they're finding this damn drug to make this possible. But my only thing is, if they do come out with this, what's gonna be the cost of it? Is it only gonna be for the rich? Is it like hella low stipulations? Do you gotta get something like in your arm? I don't know, y'all. I don't like the sound of it. Y'all let me know down below in the comments. If they came out with something like that and it was affordable, would you take it?
Do you guys remember that creepy dress incident? The dress literally broke the internet and the creepy photo made people question the reality. In 2015, someone uploaded a photo of a simple dress and that dress turned everyone into chaos. Half of the people swore it was white and gold, and others thought it was blue and black. Families were literally fighting, couples were fighting, everyone was in shock trying to debate whether it's white or gold or blue and black. They were even questioning if they were looking at the same photo, but indeed they were. However, scientists later explained that it had to do with our brains. If your brain thought the dress was in bright light, then it would show you white and gold. But if you saw the dress was in shadow, you would get blue and black. But here's the creepy part, it revealed that something simple as a color is not the same for everyone. However, I want to know what you guys see or what you still see. Do you think the dress is blue and black or white and gold? I personally see white and gold.
This is a crazy throwback, but I don't know about you guys. I see white and gold. I mean, I know my eyes look good, but my vision is absolutely terrible. So, you know, maybe I'm wrong, but you guys let me know what color you see.
Medieval hygiene customs were truly shocking. Back then, people bathed in shared tubs at home, and the same water was reused by everyone. Most people only took one full bath per year. Women washed their hair roughly every 30 days using soap made from caustic soda, believing that greasy hair was a sign of good health. Lice and fleas were everywhere. There was no toothpaste, so people brushed with plant-based paste and rinsed their mouths with urine to fight bad breath. Clothes were rarely washed, and when they were, it was with a mix of river water, lye, and yes, urine. People relieved themselves almost anywhere, often in the streets, and didn't wash afterward. In some homes, waste was collected in containers and then dumped out the windows. Wedding bouquets weren't romantic. They were meant to mask the overwhelming stench of the guests. Follow for more.
Did you know there is a motel in the middle of the Nevada desert that has been called the scariest in America? Right next to a graveyard stands the infamous Clown Motel. The story starts in Tonopah, a remote mining town. The motel was built to honor a local man named Clarence David, a clown enthusiast who died in a tragic fire. His personal collection of over 150 clowns became the motel's initial lobby decor. But over the years, that collection has exploded. Now over 2,000 clowns stare at you from every corner. Big ones, small ones, porcelain ones with cracked smiles. They're everywhere. But the clowns aren't the only residents. Guests and paranormal investigators report all sorts of strange happenings. Disembodied voices echoing in the halls, doors slamming shut on their own. And the chilling feeling of being watched, not just by the dolls, but by something else. The motel's neighbor is the old Tonopah Cemetery, where many of the town's original miners who died in a plague and a mine fire are buried. Some say their spirits wander the grounds and sometimes right into the motel rooms. So if you're ever driving through Nevada and see a sign with a grinning clown, you have a choice to make. Would you dare spend a night surrounded by thousands of smiling faces and the ghosts of the past?
Peggy the Cursed Doll.
Nah, I actually haven't.
So there's at least over 80 counts of people reporting that after looking at the pictures, the eyes of the doll, looking videos of the doll, they report headaches, nausea. Apparently, this is true because it happened to me.
What the fuck?
I looked into the eyes, and then out of nowhere, I started feeling like I wanted to throw up. I don't know if it's placebo effect. I don't know what it was, bro, but I started feeling mad weird. Also, there were reports of people getting nosebleeds after watching this.
Yo, why are we watching this video?
And also, there was a British woman who got a heart attack after watching this video.
I'm not gonna look, bro.
Bro, you have to look.
I'm not gonna look, bro.
Just look down on my phone.
I'm not gonna look, bro. Fuck that. Fuck that, bro. I'm not gonna look, bro. I don't give a fuck. Y'all the viewers can see this shit if y'all want, bro. I'm not looking, bro.
The origin of like the original owner is not really known, or like who owned it first, but all I do know was there was this woman back in 2015 where she went to a garage sale and then she came across this doll and automatically she was drawn to the doll. So she bought it back home, and literally that same night she started getting really, really bad nightmares. It wasn't just a one-time thing, it was a consistent thing where she would have the same nightmare over and over, and it would be really, really horrible nightmares to the point where she would wake up sweating so bad and where she couldn't really breathe. She tried to get the doll and the house blessed by 2 different priests from 2 different churches.
Didn't work. They're like, if you look into this doll's eyes, you're gonna get very sick and die. Oh, here's the video. Yeah, thanks. Oh, appreciate you looking out for my well-being, bro. You're a real one.
This couple survived the infamous Columbine High School massacre to only be killed less than a year later on Valentine's Day.
Oh my gosh.
So Nick Kunzelman and Stephanie Hart Grizel were both sophomores at Columbine High School, and they would miraculously make it out that day. So they both bonded over the traumatic experience and would eventually start going out. And their families would describe them as like super in love and inseparable.
Yeah.
So Nick worked at a Subway. This was the same Subway that Rachel Scott worked at.
What?
After the tragedy, he would draw her a painting, and that painting, they would hang it up in that Subway he worked at. So Nick worked night shifts at the Subway, and the night before Valentine's Day, Stephanie would sneak out and go pick him up. And this was something that they frequently did. They would hang out at the Subway. So on that night, Nick's friends remember leaving, and they remember a man staying there after they left who they didn't know who he was. So it was past midnight, and Nick's manager was driving back home. They noticed the lights were still on in the store. So they went to go check what was going on, and they would find Nick and Stephanie both shot to death behind the counter.
No.
So based on like 2 witnesses and the manager, they saw a person leave during that time that was around the same age as Nick, blonde hair and wearing all black.
What?
But other than that, they had nothing else to go on. But there was 2 leading theories that people thought was the reason for this murder. The first one was that it was due to a drug dealing ring going on in the Subway. So Nick's friends, when they were interrogated by police, they remember that the police were asking them about whether Nick used drugs or dealt drugs, or if they knew he had any enemies. They told them all they really did was smoke pot occasionally, and that Nick really didn't do drugs.
Yeah.
And the second theory is that it was somebody close to Nick and Stephanie and was jealous of them because it happened on Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
And it was somebody around the same age. And it had to be somebody that was in their friend circle because they knew that Nick would turn off the cameras in the store because he didn't want to be caught like hanging out after hours with his friends and stuff. Unfortunately, to this day, there hasn't been anything else, and there's a $60,000 reward for anyone to come up with any information leading to any answers.
Dirty facts about history that they'll never teach you in school, part 16. According to a 1992 biography, before she was married to Ronald, Nancy Reagan was known around Hollywood for giving the best. She was reportedly known as Just Say Yes Nancy and was very popular on the MGM lot for her glucking abilities. Napoleon Bonaparte apparently loved Stinky Beaver. On several occasions, he wrote to his lover instructing her not to wash up before he returned to her. The wife of U.S. President Benjamin Harrison died while he was in office in 1892. 4 years later, Harrison married his dead wife's much younger niece and had a daughter with her. His original adult children, who were around 40 years old at the time, were so disgusted by their father marrying their cousin that they didn't attend the wedding. Legendary artist Jackson Pollock died in a drunken car crash in 1956, along with his passenger Edith Metzger. Legend has it that Edith was found with Pollock's bitten off in her mouth. In the late 1600s, a serial spanker used to terrorize the streets of London with his spanking tactics.
Alright, bro. All y'all from London gotta speak up right now. Because what do you mean you had a dude running around spanking y'all? That is absolutely... I have never heard something like that in my life.
Do you even know what the fuck those earbuds are doing to you? You wear those damn earbuds every day and you don't even realize they might literally be killing you. Yeah, buddy, no joke. This isn't just about hearing loss. That's baby stuff. The real nightmare? You're turning your ear canal into a warm, moist, dark little paradise for bacteria and fungi. Every time you wear them for hours, you're basically saying, hey microbes, free air B&B in my ears. Then comes the itch, the pain, and bam, infection. And guess what? That shit doesn't stop in your ear. It can spread to your sinuses, your brain, even your bloodstream. And if that doesn't freak you out, here's more. Constant pressure from earbuds damages your skin, traps earwax, and can screw with your fucking balance. You think that's bad? Crank your music above 85 decibels. You're frying your auditory nerves like cheap bacon. And here's the kicker. That damage is permanent. Studies even link it to dementia, depression, and cognitive decline, all because you needed your playlist to sound fire. And the worst part, you won't even feel it happening. One day you'll just realize you're asking, what? Every damn minute. Like you're 80 already. So you decide, want to vibe or want to hear your grandkids someday? Follow Wellness Doctor, because someone's got to tell you the ugly truth.
When did the world stop looking like this? Well, right here. We all remember the world looking like this when we were growing up. Bright colours everywhere and it just looked so much better. So when did it stop? This also actually explains liminal spaces and why those things feel so familiar, so stick with me. First of all, there's something called Frutigliero, which is basically this software thing that lasted from like the 2000s to early 2010s. Of course, every time you'd load up a computer, you'd have these bright colours everywhere. It was just, I mean, it was pretty cool. And this went away and everything became a lot more dull. So of course, back in the day, cameras were not the quality that we have them today. So everything had this kind of bright, grainy effect. You'd be taking photos like this at home. When you're out and about, the cities or the streets would look like this. Now, the world never actually looked like this. It's not about it stopping being colourful, but you were probably a lot younger, so you remember seeing everything on photographs and also Frutigliero on your computers and stuff when you were younger. So you have this narrative in your mind that this is what everything looked like because that is how you genuinely remember it. Also, when you look back at photos from back then, you will still see it like this because the camera qualities ain't gonna change. So all of your memories are from photos or from you with young eyes who hadn't adapted. So it's more of a sense of nostalgia that this is how you remember life being from your perspective, but the world never looked much more colourful. It was exactly the same as it is now.
Michael Jackson appears to be alive and he was allegedly seen in India. This news literally blew up the internet. A video is rapidly spreading online showing a strange woman walking down the street. She doesn't look like any woman from this area. There was something unsettling and almost inhuman about her appearance. But the most frightening part began when she kept walking. Her walk looked strange, extremely unnatural, as if her legs were moving differently from those of a normal person. One of the witnesses claimed that she had hooves instead of feet and that she might be an evil spirit. However, others are convinced that this is Michael Jackson himself. Rumors that the singer faked his disappearance and moved to India have been circulating for many years. Supposedly, he lives there disguised as a woman, hiding behind layers of makeup, a covered head, and a long robe. And this is not the first such video. Similar footage has already appeared online before, sparking a storm of discussion. But it is this particular recording that has reignited old theories. But what if it's true? If you look closely at the woman's face, you can notice a striking resemblance to Michael Jackson, and perhaps her strange walk can simply be explained by age. After all, if the king of pop is really alive, it would be hard for him to move like he used to now.
I'm all for conspiracy theories, but why would Michael Jackson, out of all places, go to India? That makes absolutely no sense. Do I think this is something like oddly suspicious? Yes, but do I think Michael Jackson just said, oh yeah, let me just pretend to die and go to India?
Did you know there is a town in America so cursed that even the government won't let you visit? Welcome to Dudleytown, Connecticut, also known as the Village of the Damned. It all started back in the 1740s with the Dudley family. Legend says they were descendants of an English duke who was beheaded for treason against the king. This supposedly placed a dark curse upon their entire bloodline. And when they settled in this remote corner of Connecticut, they brought that curse with them. From the very beginning, things went horribly wrong. Residents suffered from mysterious illnesses and went insane. One of the first settlers, a man named Nathaniel Carter, was found dead after claiming he was attacked by demons in the woods. Later, a woman was struck by lightning and killed on her own porch. Her husband, General Herman Swift, slowly descended into madness after her death. Over the years, the town's population dwindled. Families experienced suicides, bizarre accidents, and unexplained disappearances. By the early 1900s, Dudleytown was completely abandoned, leaving behind nothing but crumbling stone foundations and an eerie, unnatural silence. Visitors who dare to trespass today report seeing strange lights, hearing disembodied whispers, and feeling an overwhelming sense of dread. The land is now private property, heavily patrolled and closed to the public, perhaps to protect us from whatever still lurks in the cursed woods of Dudleytown.
So apparently Ray J is working with the feds right now to drop a major RICO case against Kim Kardashian and her mother Kris Jenner. I'll show you the footage in a second. It was during one of his live streams, but he said that this is going to be worse than what we saw with Diddy. If you don't know who this guy is, he used to be a rapper a while ago. He also had an interesting relationship with Kim herself, so maybe he does know something. And we saw Kanye make a lot of allegations about Kim, but we never really seen anything come to light, so maybe now we will. But check this out.
This federal RICO though, on KK and Chris. Ooh, the federal RICO I'm about to drop. Anybody know Kim and cool with Kim? They need to tell her now. The rain is coming, the feds is coming. Hey, Ray! The feds is coming. It's nothing I can do about it. It's worse than Diddy. It's worse than Diddy. It's worse than Diddy. The feds are coming to investigate. Yeah, because it's like, I can't be the dirty guy no more.
I feel like we all seen this coming. They're too powerful. They're too involved with everything. They've been around for a long time. Diddy was on his spree for over 20 years just causing havoc, and nobody found out till now. So imagine what these people are doing. But, you know, I guess we'll find out.
Better stop listening to Tyler, the Creator. He's a devil worshiper, literally. And I'm going to show you pictures as well. Y'all want to listen to him? Look what he got on, man. Come on now. Wake up, man. It's all in y'all face. Look at his 2011 album called Goblin. He got an upside down cross on his forehead and his eyes is black. Y'all need to stop listening to this secular music, man. It's all in our face. The devil plays in our face every single day. It's a reason why God say don't listen to secular music. If you sit still and let God into your life, you will see why. This is why. And if y'all don't believe me, here it go right here. Wake up, man. Lock in. It's 2025 and y'all still listening to these people that worship demonic things. You over here listening to somebody that worship the devil. You going to hell right with them because you want to follow in their steps. Wake up, man.
When I think about all of the horrifying things that can and have happened at amusement parks, it makes me never want to go again. I specifically remember hearing about someone who sued Disney for psychological distress. It happened back in 2009 when they were on this ride called It's a Small World, where you get into this little boat and ride along in these canals. And while you're in there, these animatronics are dancing and singing in different languages. Well, the person who would go on to sue Disney was stuck on this ride after it malfunctioned. So all of the guests on this ride were stranded in their boats and just forced to sit there and wait for evacuation while these animatronic dolls just continued to dance and sing around them for a good 30 minutes. The ride actually malfunctioned again just recently, and there was this video circulating online showing a mom getting out of the boat and into the water to evacuate her children herself. There's another story about an abandoned water park at Disney that had to be shut down after multiple deaths were linked to a rare brain-eating amoeba that was found in the lake water. It was shut down in 2001 and has remained abandoned ever since, and you can actually find some really creepy videos of people exploring it after it sat for all of this time.
I met somebody that worked with Mr. Beast recently. No. Yeah, because it was around TIFF, right?
What happened? What did he say?
It was a girl, so she was working on the filming side.
Okay.
She pretty much said him on camera and him when the camera's off are two completely different people.
How though?
She said,
good or bad?
It's almost as if like the moment you turn on the camera, he's this happy-go-lucky type of guy. The moment the cameras go off, he doesn't care about nobody.
No.
I mean, I can't say for myself. That's just what she said.
No, but that's the source.
That's just the source. That's just the source. I'm not, you know.
Crazy, bro.
That's just hearsay. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my God.
I could see that though. I
You know
could
what
see
I mean?
that. But also, it could be a thing. For the benefit of the doubt, I will say, being a man like Mr. Beast, it would take a lot of your energy to do those videos. And he definitely has so much stress of so many different projects he's working on. I could see that's why he has to, you know, put on this persona, put the energy down, give himself some rest. Do you think he does it for the money though? I don't know. I don't know if he does it for...
Her roommate started throwing up the moment she drank this hot chocolate. After seeing how hard she threw the cup onto the floor, she knew something wasn't right, so she took a closer look, and what she discovered was truly horrifying.
What is it? It's an eye. I'm pretty sure it is.
Jim Carrey, why are you saying this?
Disguised as an NBC page, I actually secretly hypnotized the entire studio audience.
What?
Yes, they are under my control, Jay.
No.
Because it's the subconscious mind working within my parameters.
What are you talking about, Jim?
I hope you don't mind that I've done this, Jay, that I am controlling your audience this evening. No, okay. Because I have also given them a secret suggestion. It is a word, a secret word, a keyword. And when I hit that keyword, when I say that keyword, the entire audience will stand up and applaud as if they have seen the greatest entertainment of their lives.
What do you mean you hypnotized them, Jim? What are you talking about? And what's that keyword that you were saying? Because people want to know what that keyword is. Remember? The Truman Show? They had him living in a reality that didn't exist. It was almost like he was in a video game. And he finally figured it out, and he got out. It was almost like, in that movie, he was hypnotized to think he was in the real world when he wasn't. Jim Carrey, I don't know what you're talking about. And I don't know if you even know what you're talking about. But everybody wants to know what that keyword is, Jim. Let us know. We want to know right now so we can know what word to look out for. I'm just playing around, guys. This video is for entertainment purposes only. Jim Carrey was just playing around, making jokes. You know, he's a comedian. Come on. I don't know, guys. You let me know what you think about this. I'm out.
Does anybody else besides me find this to be a little strange from Trump's Halloween event? Right here. I know that you see it with your own eyes. I know I can't be the only one to find this to be a little bizarre. Now, I know that you are going to probably have people out there defend this and say, oh, it's just harmless. Really? Really? Especially with all of the rumors surrounding the Golden Arches, right? Especially slogans that they have used, you know. So you tell me what is going on here. There is some very strange things happening. And I know I can't be the only one to be a little disturbed by this.
This guy claims he reached a wind farm in the middle of the ocean. And if this is real, then he is in serious danger. And he doesn't even realize it. Because if he falls into the water here, he's not coming back alive. And no, it's not because of sharks or any sea creature. It's much worse. What he's doing in this video is actually illegal. This area is thousands of kilometers away from any land. No islands. No boats around. This is one of the only zones in the entire ocean where access is completely banned. They don't call it a wind farm for nothing. This place is as isolated as Point Nemo. He says it took him for hours just to reach these turbines. And without knowing, he did something he absolutely should not have done, because this is what these turbines look like when they're active. And if you think that's not so bad, just remember, the waves here can reach 2 to 4 meters high. This tiny boat wouldn't even get within 500 meters. It would sink instantly, but that's not even the main reason why falling into the water is deadly. These giant turbines generate electricity for over 3 million people. All that power is transported through underwater cables. And when those cables start to erode or break, something terrifying happens. Every living thing within 80 meters in the water dies instantly. like the ocean turns into a giant frying pan of electricity. All fish, everything, just dead. Now imagine if these turbines suddenly started spinning again while he's right there. And here's the creepy part. Someone sent me this clip and they said he never posted anything ever again. Is there anyone who can confirm what happened to him? Follow me for more stories like this if you want to know what the ocean really hides.
I don't know if I just think too much or if this is a crazy question, but think about it. If the wires broke, how would they fix it without getting electrocuted? Really think about that. They have underwater cables that turn the ocean into basically a frying pan, but they have to fix it somehow. So who's taking one for the team? I mean, unless they got some suits that are like resistant, I have no idea.
It's way bigger than P. Diddy, y'all. Check this out.
Everyone that was not my color believed me. It was my people that needed convincing. If someone like the Diddler is your hero, then you should hurry up and go to hell with him. If someone like Jay-Z is your hero, then, just be glad you're not talented so he could sacrifice you like he tried to do me, and he succeeded with Aaliyah. Stevie J should be charged. Mary J. Blige should also be charged. Jennifer Lopez should definitely be charged. Jay-Z should be charged. Khaled should be charged. Rick Ross should be charged. Usher should be charged and tried with him. Or for Justin Bieber alone.
Now, Carisha and Rick Ross just sat down together at the interview.
I know.
Stay weird,
Did he
y'all.
do our bops? What a reunion.
Biggest thing on the news right now, also a recession indicator. The Starbucks Barista cup. What? Oh, this is the new Labubu, fam. Oh, you don't know. So Starbucks just came out with it's like, like the honey bear. Yeah. So it's like that, except it's a bear with a Starbucks hat on it and the straw that goes out like this. Okay. So this is my theory. This is a whole social experiment that Starbucks did just to expose this whole recession, because all we can look forward to is this $30 luxury cup. Fam, just today, mans were elbowing people in line for it.
Wow.
They were arguing. They were literally sending threats to Starbucks because the workers got first dibs and they were lining up for 5 hours.
Sneakers, bro.
Fam, sneakers just for this bare cup.
Yeah.
You can get this cup on Amazon without the Starbucks branding on Amazon for $15.
It is this recession.
But why does everyone want it? Because it's limited. It looks like luxury. Oh, I have it. This is a collection.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. This is just a big social experiment.
Yo, because what's gonna happen, because the Labubu almost platform, or I guess idea is proven, they're just gonna start remixing that shit, bro.
What the fuck happens if you start chugging Coca-Cola every single day? I'll tell you in 60 seconds. Let's go. Day 1 feels like heaven. Sweet bubbles, sugar rush, brain lights up like Vegas. Dopamine spikes, you feel alive. By day 3, sugar overload. Your pancreas works overtime, insulin's panicking, and your belly starts growing like it's trying to win a fucking talent show. Week 1, your teeth start dying. Coke's acid eats enamel like Pac-Man on crack. Week 2, bones get weaker. Calcium balance goes to shit. You bend down to tie your shoes and your spine's like, nope. By week 3, your kidneys are crying. Phosphoric acid's bullying them, filtering all that crap, while your bladder's wondering what it did to deserve this. Week 4, your blood sugar's a circus. Up, crash, repeat. Your mood's swinging harder than your toxic ex. Diabetes knocks on the door like, yo, you ordered me. And long-term, congratulations. You're sipping on fat, cavities, weak bones, and maybe a side of fucking cancer. Coke isn't refreshment. It's liquid sabotage. Stop chugging chemicals. Drink water, dumbass.
So have you heard of the Hexham Stoneheads? 2 boys from this town in England called Hexham. They were digging up stuff in their backyard and they would find these stoneheads, super creepy. Brought them into their house. Immediately they noticed something. They noticed strange activity, things falling off the shelf.
No way.
So the mother, she noticed a wolf-like creature appear before her.
A wolf-like creature?
Yeah, so part wolf, part man. It wasn't just her. Her daughter also noticed it and saw it. They wanted to get rid of it. So they gave it to this doctor. Her name is Dr. Ann Ross. She was a huge skeptic and she was an archaeologist. So she knew she could debunk this.
Right.
So she took in the stoneheads into her house. She noticed the wolf-like creature and her daughter also noticed it.
No way.
And she would also become the biggest believer of this.
It was about 6 feet high, slightly stooping, black, very dark fur. And it was half animal and half man. Something made me run after it. A thing I wouldn't normally have done, but I felt compelled to run after it. And then it disappeared towards the back of the house. And when I got to the bottom of the stairs, I was terrified. The day that the heads were removed from the house, since then, there hasn't been really a trace of it.
So she donated the stone heads to a museum,
Yeah.
but the museum workers also noticed a wolf-like creature at the exhibit.
Why does anyone still possess these things?
So they ended up giving to experts to analyze it. And then a guy came out and said that he made them, and his name was Desmond Craigie. And he said that he lived in that house where the stone heads were found. And he said that he just made them for his daughter. When experts told him to recreate it, they weren't really convinced. So there's a lot of debate whether this guy was telling the truth or not. But the strangest part is that these stone heads ended up disappearing. So they were passed around people to analyze, right? And eventually this psychic would get his hands on it. No one knows who this guy was, but he would lose it. To this day, no one knows what happened to the stone heads. So it's one of the strangest paranormal cases to come out of the UK.
Welcome to Duncan. Are you ready to start your day with a sugar blast to the head? Come inside, we can fix you right up. These bad boys have at least 16 grams of sugar each, not to mention loads of other crap that will rot your body. Our drinks will send you over the edge, up to 185 grams of sugar, haha. Are you feeling that itch yet? We have everything here to perk you up. Caffeine, sugar, high fructose corn syrup, all this stuff is filled with tons of that crap. Is this what you want? Is the urge too hard to resist? It's like your body needs it. And it's by design. The high levels of sugar and high fructose corn syrup are specifically dosed out to make you crave more and more.
Don't deny the urge. I'm right down the street, waiting.
America runs on Duncan.
Oh, that's definitely not terrifying. Yeah, I really want some Dunkin' right now. That's what I want. Yeah.
This is one of the most disturbing videos on the dark web. Maybe you didn't notice anything, but this video hides something truly terrifying. For girls are in a nightclub, laughing, recording a quick memory of the night. No one else seems to be around them. Just fun. Just friends. At least, that's what they thought. Watch closely. The fourth girl walks into frame, and right behind her, a shape appears. It looks like a human figure, but darker than the shadows, as if the darkness itself is alive. The girl suddenly turns around, like she felt something standing right behind her. She doesn't see anything. But that only makes it worse, because something saw her. I'll show it again. Look behind the fourth girl and tell me what you see. Comment your theory and follow before you miss what's hiding in the next video.
Morbid Facts, Part 803. Ariana Grande's life has been marked by unimaginable tragedy. In 2017, during her concert at Manchester Arena, a suicide bomber set off an explosive as fans were leaving the show. 22 people were killed, some of them children, and hundreds more were injured. The tragedy left Ariana with PTSD and deep survivor's guilt, something she said she'll never fully recover from. Just a year later, she lost her ex-boyfriend Mac Miller to an overdose, a loss that left her completely shattered. In 2019, she revealed how deeply those experiences affected her, sharing a brain scan that showed severe patterns of trauma, comparing it to a healthy brain and one with PTSD. Hers lit up the same way as the trauma scan, as she called it hilarious and terrifying, not a joke. In the years since, fans have noticed a drastic change in her appearance. Her once soft features now look sharper and hollowed, her frame thinner, her face at times hauntingly fragile. Whether from stress, age, or the weight of everything she's endured, Ariana's transformation feels like a visible reminder of how much she's had to carry.
I completely forgot about that situation. Getting blown up while listening to Ariana Grande is probably like one of the craziest ways to go out. You know, rest in peace to those people. That's crazy.
Sam and Kobe say this is the most haunted place they ever visited.
Oh shit.
The Bel Air house is home to like 200 different demons. What happened was there was somebody that was trying to communicate with their dead relative. I think it was his dead daughter he was trying to communicate with and reaching out using different rituals, using different witchcraft. And bro, what he accidentally did was open different portals and allowed spirits into the crib.
So now there's like just 200.
And the more people go and visit, every time they bring a reflection, they might be opening another portal. I heard stories of somebody that went to go investigate it, and they were talking to a spirit. They asked a question whether or not the owner of the place has opened the portals.
Okay.
And the spirit came back and said, no, he just opened 3. You guys open the portals. But they're talking about spiritual investigators in general.
Yeah, because the more people that investigate, you're gonna open it. Yeah.
You calling onto the energy will bring things out.
We have some new information coming out about Celeste Rivas Hernandez and David. We now have one of the very last photos taken of Celeste being released to the public by the private investigator who is trying to figure out what happened to Celeste. And this private investigator got these photos of Celeste off David's camera that he left in the LA home when he moved out. Now, this private investigator said that there's photos on this camera of Celeste and David being together on December 30th and 31st in LA. He also has said for a few weeks now the last photograph that he has of Celeste on this camera is from January 2nd of 2025. And then there's no more pictures of her that is on this camera, which is a big deal because he has been claiming there were thousands of photos of Celeste on this camera. Now, this private investigator has reached out to the public asking if anybody saw Celeste after January 2nd of 2025. The main reason he wants to know this because on this camera, there was photos of David shooting a music video on January 8th of 2025. And the only music video that David released around this time frame 1 month later was the music video for One More Dance. Y'all know me. I went back and I watched this music video and my heart sank. In this music video, there are multiple clips that show woods that look very similar to the picture that the private investigator released off David's camera. But that is the least concerning thing because in this music video, it's the music video where there is a girl who looks very similar to Celeste. And the fact now that we just got this photograph of Celeste released and she also has a nose ring just like this girl in this video made me have chills up and down my spine. It's also the same video where it appears the people are putting someone in the trunk of a car. And also shown in this music video is them running from police once they're pulled over after they put that person in the trunk. We were all deep diving into David's music and his alter ego Atami, but now to see these timelines lining up and this new photograph of Celeste coming out, it is just really alarming. A lot of people right now are worried because the LAPD put out a statement referring back to their original comment, which was they don't know right now if they have any other charges other than concealment of Celeste because she was put into a trunk. I honestly feel like people are trying to twist that statement from the LAPD. They literally said, refer back to our original statement. And that's because the only crime that they know for sure happened is somebody put Celeste in that trunk, but they don't have the autopsy report back on Celeste to know exactly what happened to her. At this point, everything seems to still be under investigation. And it does suck because we haven't seen any movement and we don't know exactly what happened to Celeste. But I will tell you, this private investigator is finding things, but I am shocked that the LAPD took electronics, but they never took this camera that was left in the LA home. But y'all let me know what you guys think about all this in the comments.
Grown man was found with pictures of him with a young girl, and she was found unalived in his trunk. And they're like, nah, bro, you're good, bro. You're not, you didn't do nothing wrong. In what world? Because it's not this world.
Extra Morbid Facts, Part 50. David Parker Ray wasn't just a serial killer. He did things to women so horrific that the FBI agents who investigated him needed therapy. In Elephant Butte, New Mexico, he constructed a custom soundproof trailer he called the Toy Box, filled with whips, chains, saws, medical equipment, video cameras, and even a mechanical torture device he built himself. When victims woke up strapped to a gynecologist table, he played a 20-minute audio tape calmly explaining how he was going to rape, torture, and break them over the next several days.
Hello there. Are you comfortable right now? I doubt it. Wrists and ankles. Probably blindfolded. You are disoriented and scared too, I would imagine. Perfectly normal under the circumstances. Now, you are obviously here against your will. Totally helpless. Don't know where you're at. Don't know what's going to happen to you. You're very scared or very pissed off. I'm sure that you've already tried to get your wrists and ankles loose. No, you can't. Now you're just waiting to see what's going to happen next. You probably think you're going to be raped, and you're f***ing sure.
If you ever sit in this chair, there's a 100% chance you'll die. You see, 300 years ago, this dumbass named Thomas Busby got really angry because his father-in-law sat in his favorite chair. In fact, he was so angry that he killed him. Eventually, Thomas was caught and taken to be executed. But just before his execution, he stopped at the pub to drink one last beer in his favorite chair. But before he left, he yelled a curse. "May sudden death come to anyone who dares sit in my chair." At first, people just laughed at this curse, but then strange things started happening. Two guys who once visited the pub thought it would be funny to sit in the chair, but on their way home their car crashed into a tree and they both died. A few years later, a builder sat in the chair during his lunch break. That same afternoon, he slipped off the roof and died. Even a cleaning lady who was mopping the floor accidentally bumped into the chair. A few weeks later, she got really sick and died. Now, after all of these creepy deaths, the pub owner didn't want anyone else to die, and so he sent the chair to a museum. And today, the chair hangs 5 feet in the air so that no one could sit in it.
Some people genuinely just got an ego problem. If someone tells you, yo, this chair is going to kill you, I don't care if it's actually going to kill me or not. I'm not taking my chance. I know I have 100% of living if I don't sit in that chair. So why would I even compromise it with the 1%? Always that person out there that's going to be like,
oh yeah, nah, bro, this chair's not going to kill me.
Look at you now.
If your ultimate goal is to be famous, then you're gonna do a lot to get there, like sign your name in blood in a contract with the devil.
The video you just saw shows one of Rihanna's closest friends explaining how Rihanna may have sold her soul. Friendship in the world of fame is the worst kind. All it takes is one contract on the table and betrayal follows. Don't you find it strange that back in the early 2000s, Rihanna was a nobody? She was just a young girl. No money, no connections, no future mapped out. Then, overnight, everything exploded right after a mysterious meeting with Jay-Z. No one really knows what happened that night. She was reportedly called into Jay-Z's office, and he told her she wouldn't leave without a contract. She came out very late, and by the next morning, her name was everywhere.
Why is your hand over your eye?
Because I'm a devil worshiper. What are you talking about?
Her career took off like a rocket. Within months, Rihanna became a global icon. You'd think it was a miracle, but the video you just watched confirms the whispers that have surrounded her image. Her rise wasn't luck, it was a pact. Her friend says she was offered this prize. 20 years of glory, beauty, and a voice like no other. Thanks to that, she became the symbol of perfection. Her talent seemed unreal, her success limitless. But nothing is ever given for free. Someone always comes to collect. And that's the thing. Everything seems to have changed for her halfway through this year. Remember how she started to seem distant, drained, almost hollow? Her fans were stunned. And the strangest part? Rumor has it that after her 20th year, she had to return everything she'd been given. Coincidence or not, it's been exactly 20 years since the world first discovered her. Look at her now. She dodges every question about music, avoids the subject completely, as if she no longer has the right to speak of it. So, does the video I showed you prove it all? Is it just exhaustion and motherhood, or has the dreadful payment for her pact already begun?
She was cooked by her crush and was served with potatoes. This is the disturbing story of a beautiful young Russian girl by the name Katrina. She was into poem writing and heavy metal, but sadly in one of these concerts, she met someone that would change her life. She met a 19-year-old man by the name of Maxon in one of these heavy metal concerts. She ended up liking him so much she started developing a crush. Her mother, on the other hand, got suspicious weird vibes from this person and didn't want her daughter to be near him. But of course, she brushed it off and she continued to talk to this person. One day she lied to her mother and said that she was gonna go stay over at a friend's house to study for a project. Her mother was hesitant, however she insisted and she was able to go. She ended up lying to her mother to go to Maxim's apartment and meet up with other friends. These three individuals referred to her as fresh meat. When she arrived there, they drowned her and started eating her. One of the roommates claimed to have heard noise but didn't think much of it. When she came back from work the next day, her roommates served her some potatoes with beef. Of course, she didn't think anything suspicious because what? You know, they're her roommates. Little did she know that the meat, wasn't really animal meat. The meat belonged to Katrina, who they've had chopped and eaten. They ate her with onions and spices in the oven. When they were interrogated, they said they ate her because they were drunk and hungry. The people in the courtroom were horrified and disgusted by the crime scene photos. They were charged for the murder of Katrina. What do we think about this disturbing case?
Okay, these psychopaths are getting way too creative. Who on earth thought it was a good idea to serve your girlfriend with a side of mashed potatoes? It's almost like people see crazy stuff and they're like, oh, I could one up that. Like, no, please don't. Like, imagine I meet a nice girl. I'm like, oh yeah. And then she just turns me into an entree and serves me to a family of four. Like, oh, I love you too.
Finally, after years of waiting, they're taking X's case to court. And oh my god, bro, this shit is interesting as hell to say the least. It started off with a banger. One of the lawyers in the case is blaming this shit on Drake. Now, there's been theories tossed around for years about this too. Cause X literally posted on his IG, he was like, bro, if I die, Drake did that shit to me. So it's pretty like cut and dry right there. But even after that, there's been hella lyrics that Drake's been putting out that kinda sound like he talking directly about X. Drake said he gonna break a 10, aka X. And he said if he held his tongue on his live, he'll be alive again. And he also said Triple X, that's the only time I shoot below the neck. That shit sound like a whole ass confession right there. I'm not gonna lie to you. Then we found out that the three dudes involved did all of this over 50K. This man right here ended up only getting 5 out of the 50K. I want you to remember that real quick. Cause dude remember getting the short end of the stick and he snitched immediately. Bro ain't waste no time. Funny thing is though, after he snitched, one of the other dudes in the case made fun of him for snitching. And after he got made fun of for snitching, he doubled down and snitched on the other dude for making fun of him. He double snitched. I've never.
What really happened to Marina Joyce? In the 2010s, Marina Joyce was a popular lifestyle YouTuber before she disappeared under very strange circumstances. After building up her audience for a couple of years with her bubbly personality, things would begin to change when she posted this video. In this, she completely changed personalities, being all over the place, not her bubbly self, and continuously looking off camera as if something was going on. After this, more and more strange circumstances started to pop up, as people swear they can hear her whispering "help me" in a video. There is a weapon in the background of a different video, and she even starts to have bruises on her arm. All of this, coupled with the fact that she was acting extremely strange, led the internet to believe that something was going on. And just as the hashtag #SaveMarinaJoyce started to go viral online, she would completely vanish from the internet. Months would go by before we heard anything, but looking back now, what actually happened is kind of wild. Comment part 2 and I'll let you know when that one's up.
Explaining the theory of the uncanny valley. There's something deeply unsettling about a face that looks almost human, but not quite. That strange chill you feel when you see a robot smile, a wax figure blink, or a CGI character stare too long. That's the uncanny valley. Scientists say our brains are wired to panic at things that mimic us a little too well. At first we feel empathy, but when something crosses that invisible line, we feel disgust, fear, even danger. And some believe there's a reason buried deep in our evolution, because thousands of years ago, we weren't the only humans on Earth. We lived alongside Neanderthals, Denisovans, and other species that looked almost like us. That instinct, the fear of the almost human, might have been our warning, a reflex that once kept us alive and still echoes every time we see a face that shouldn't exist.
This officer was teaching people how to stay safe on the road while hiding a horrifying secret. It was the end of 1986, and the news ran a short segment about staying safe if your car breaks down at night. The officer Craig Allen in the video calmly explained that walking on the road was dangerous and that you should never get into a strange stranger's car.
Anything could happen. Being a female, you could be robbed if you're a male, all the way to where you could be killed.
The advice seemed helpful, especially because just days earlier, a young college student named Kara Knott had gone missing. Her car was found on the side of a bridge, and her body was discovered below it. People believe she stepped out to get help. Then more stories began to surface. Dozens of women came forward saying they had been pulled over on that same highway. A patrol officer held them in their cars for over an hour, asking personal and sometimes sexual questions. The details matched the same area, the same pattern, the same night. When investigators checked the patrol logs, everything pointed to one man. It was the same officer who told everyone how to stay safe.
You could be killed.
This dude literally put out a safety course on himself. He's like, yep, if you guys don't want to get taken by me, this is what you should do. Bro was literally hiding in plain sight. Like, it does not get more stupid than this.
Back in 2009, one of the most chaotic and drama-filled TV shows ever to air on TV Azteca hit the screen, Laura de Todos. The show, hosted by Laura Bozzo, featured real people sharing their wild, emotional, and often unbelievable life stories. Episodes would start with calm interviews but quickly spiral into shouting matches, tears, and sometimes even physical fights. Think of it as the Mexican version of Jerry Springer, but with even more twists. In 2010, the show had one of the most shocking moments in TV history. A woman came on the show in tears, explaining that she had tragically lost her husband in a terrible car accident. But just when you think it couldn't get any worse, Laura introduced another guest. The husband's 21-year-old mistress, who claimed she was pregnant with his child. That's when things took a bizarre turn. Laura grabbed a container of the husband's ashes and began scolding him for betraying his wife. Then, in a moment no one expected, she claimed she could speak to spirits, and said she was going to summon the husband himself. What happened next left the audience speechless. It turned out the husband, Javier, wasn't gone at all. According to the show, he had survived the crash but lost his memory, starting a new life after leaving the hospital. When Laura showed him photos of his wife and family, he said he didn't recognize them, not even his own child. Laura, clearly unconvinced, revealed footage of him living with another woman. Then, in a shocking twist, she brought out a third woman, who also claimed to be his wife. What followed was pure chaos on stage. This episode remains one of the wildest moments in Latin American TV history, proving that Laura de Todos was truly unlike anything else ever broadcast.
This dude really did not care about nothing. He literally pretended to lose his life to get away from his wife, found a new wife. They went on a TV show. This woman summoned him back from the dead. Apparently he never died. And bro has a whole new life and family. And then he pretends to not remember. What is going on, bro? Like,
live broadcast. During a live interview, a former Chilean minister left viewers uneasy when something strange happened. Her posture seemed off, and her eyes shifted, revealing pupils eerily similar to a lizard's. The resemblance was too clear to ignore, sparking international attention. A similar incident occurred in the US, where a government figure was caught behaving oddly, as if struggling to blend in with human behavior. These events have fueled theories about reptilian beings hiding among us, attempting but failing to fully mimic human actions.
I do, rituals, but that's not a negative thing.
They wrung the blood out, half filled 4 glasses with cobra blood. Drinking the cobra blood is called becoming brother to the snake.
It would be all the baby blood. I don't feel like I do look that young, but if I did, it would be all the baby blood.
We kind of signed our life away to each other, and legally, and with blood, that there's no possible way anybody can separate or walk away from.
I know there's going to be so many quick to defend them, like, oh, it's only a joke, it's said in jest. In what situation is that ever funny, to make jokes about things like these, when they have literally happened? But when you really peel the layers back and you go down the rabbit hole, you'll realize that they literally have to tell you these things because they believe if they don't tell you, then there's karmic retribution involved. But by telling you and passing it off just as comedy or whatnot, they believe they won't receive any karmic retribution for these actions.
This Oprah episode aired in 1989 and was deleted. Watch this to the end.
There would be rituals in which babies would be sacrificed and you would have to,
Whose babies?
There were people who bred babies in their family. No one would know about it. A lot of people were overweight, so you couldn't tell if they were pregnant or not. When I was very young, I was forced to participate in that, in which I had to sacrifice an infant.
And the purpose of sacrifice is to what? Is to bring you what? What are you sacrificing for?
For power.
This Oprah episode aired in 1989, and I wonder why it was deleted. How many testimonies do we have to see over and over again before people start asking if there's something more to it? I'm not saying it's true or fake, but why has this episode disappeared? If it was fake, why not leave it up and let people decide for themselves? Drop your answer in the comments. Is it all a coincidence, or are people too scared to admit the truth? Let me know your thoughts and comments below.
You guys, Jeffrey Dahmer and Taylor Swift are related. They are 9th cousins, and you already know me, I've got the whole family tree, so let's go. Okay, I gotta take you all the way back to the Mayflower because that's when their common descendant starts, and trust me, this tree isn't even complicated. So we had Richard and Elizabeth Warren. Richard Warren came over on the Mayflower in 1620. Elizabeth Warren came over on the Anne in 1623. She brought over the 5 daughters they already had with her. Then they had 2 sons in Plymouth, Nathaniel and their son Joseph. Now the son Nathaniel had a daughter Alice that goes down to Taylor Swift and a son Richard, which goes down to Jeffrey Dahmer. First up on Jeffrey Dahmer's side, this is Richard Warren from the Mayflower, and these are the descendants all the way down to Jeffrey Dahmer. On Taylor Swift's side, here we go, Richard Warren and Elizabeth Warren from the Mayflower, all the way down to Taylor Swift. Just in case you need to see it side by side for yourself, there at the top is Richard and Elizabeth Warren, and you can see it goes down to Nathaniel Warren, and then it splits at his children with Alice and Richard and the line down to Taylor Swift and Jeffrey Dahmer. Now, if you also want a little bit of a history lesson, their descendant Richard Warren was one of the original signers of the Mayflower Compact.
What we really need to be asking ourselves is, why did this lady wake up and be like, I wonder if Taylor Swift and Jeffrey Dahmer are related? Why was this ever a thought on anyone's brain? That's like asking if Ted Bundy and Selena Gomez are related. Who is thinking about, I guess I just thought about that. So we got Jeffrey Dahmer and Taylor Swift's relative signing the Mayflower. Okay.
She cooked her husband for Thanksgiving. In 1999, Omaima Nelson shocked California and the entire world when they found out what she did to her husband, Bill Nelson. Omaima Nelson was a 23-year-old Egyptian model that married Bill weeks after meeting him. But over that Thanksgiving weekend, neighbors reported screams and Bill was nowhere to be seen. When police went to finally search the apartment, they found body parts in trash bags and a head in the freezer. Omaima then confessed to cutting his hands and even confessed to cooking his ribs and dipping them in barbecue and eating them. She then ended up changing her story and denied that she didn't really eat him. However, she then said that it was self-defense, but even if it was self-defense, why the fuck would you cook and eat your husband? Prosecutors said that it was the most disturbing, gruesome case in California history. They ended up calling it the Thanksgiving Horror. However, one thing's for sure, whether it was defense or insanity, that Thanksgiving feast was a complete nightmare. Let me know in the comments what you guys think about this.
Only governmentally confirmed case of possession. All evidence was thoroughly reviewed by top Defense Department analysts. Tissue samples were extracted, blood samples taken. A completely unknown molecular compound was found in her tissue. Not a disease, not a parasite, an evil.
In 1972, a group of scientists had gotten together and formed what they had called the Atticus Institute.
Our goal was to conduct unbiased empirical research on exceptional human abilities, psychokinesis, ESP, precognition, things that are typically considered fringe science.
Their research would come up with basically nothing until 1974, when a woman by the name of Judith Winslow would be brought to their door.
Can you please stop that,
Can you
Judith?
please stop that, please?
We'd really like to continue.
Judith would do a lot more than simply provide evidence. She would consistently prove that they weren't prepared at all for what they were trying to study.
We had about 10 different degrees between us, including 1 in medicine, 3 in psychology. And we knew that was not normal. She would scream in that voice.
And when the US government got involved, it only made things worse.
Let's start cleaning the gun.
The one thing that makes or breaks a found footage horror movie is whether or not it is believable. And the Atticus Institute is one of the best at doing this. The story is so well written that you want to Google it afterwards just in case it might be real. Alas, it is not. It is a movie. So if you would like to watch it for yourself, once again, it is called The Atticus Institute, and it is available over on Tubi for free. I will see you guys later.
Guys, watch this to the end. Let me know thoughts and comments down below.
So it's being reported that Wendy Williams has been cleared of frontotemporal dementia, y'all. That's all great. But the question that gotta be asked is, who diagnosed her in the first place? Because last time I checked, if you have that diagnosis, there's no cure for it. It can't just go away. I remember early in 2025 when she was at her window talking to somebody on TMZ. They was recording her in the window and she was telling them, I'm fine, I do not have dementia. He was like, the people that's guarding her won't let her go out the house. She can't do nothing for herself. So it's just weird to me that 3 years later, now all of a sudden she's cleared of dementia. Nobody see the problem with that. This lady lost everything. She lost her show. She lost her ability to move whenever she wanted to say whatever she wanted to, probably to eat whatever she wanted to too. And all that for what? For them to say she's clear now? Nah, fool. Something.
Did you see that high schooler who jumped the cruise ship on his graduation trip? There's this guy that went on a big trip with a bunch of other high schools to the Bahamas, and he was dared to jump into the shark-infested waters. All because of a dare. The sharks, that's like the main
danger, bro.
Danger
Like, you
in
can
Bahamas.
die.
And like witnesses say that he didn't know that it was shark infested. So I'm like, okay, I'll give that point. Everybody's saying that the legal age in America is 18.
Yeah.
So they don't know if the kids on the cruise ship were. But at the same time, it's a grad trip, so it's like I would think that they would, you know what I mean? He jumps into the water, right? And there's a video of it. Everybody's screaming in the video, yo, go to the buoy, right? He's like, alright, I bet, I'm gonna listen. He swims to the buoy. Bam, there's something in the video like some white thing in the water, right? And he redirects where he's going. So he swims away from the buoy. And I was like, what the are you doing?
Because we're aliens. That's how we roll. TV is slowly rotting your brain and turning it into a slimy, gooey, mushy blob of pudding, and there's nothing you can do about it. See? I just told you what was happening, and you're still watching TV. Amazing.
They're finally rotting your brains, just like Bond promised they would.
You guys, Apple has just released a digital ID for identification and US passports. Here we go. Now, reports say they will be merging their biometric security with encrypted ID storage and plans to replace your physical IDs across airports, apps, and businesses. Why don't I like this? They also said this is going to be used at over 250 TSA checkpoints across domestic airports for identity verification. Now, remember I told you guys about one of the richest men on earth, Larry Ellison, who owns TikTok and Oracle, and who's a big fan of digital IDs? Well, it seems like one big master plan between all the big tech companies. You have Microsoft dealing with OpenAI dealing with NVIDIA dealing with Oracle, xAI dealing with NVIDIA, and not to mention, OpenAI just did a $38 billion deal with Amazon for cloud storage. So the question is, what are they really planning? Well, I may have some answers. Could it be that they're following in the footsteps of China's Skynet, which is tied to digital IDs, a social credit score, and an AI surveillance system that they actually want to put on the moon? Skynet, huh? Why does this sound familiar? That's because it's the same name as the killer artificial intelligence in Terminator, Skynet. I'll say it once and I'll say it again. It's always in the movies. Make sure you guys go to my YouTube, Maverick Approach, where I do more breakdowns on this, but let me know what you guys think about all this down below.
What if what they are doing to these Hollywood celebrities is what they plan on doing to us? What the heck happened to Selena Gomez? Who the heck are you, lady? You're not the Selena I remember. How are we going from this to this? All of you in my comment section are telling me that it's just age, but I have never in my life seen anyone change their personality, their voice, their looks so dramatically just within a few years. This is what Selena Gomez used to act like.
I've had a lot
lot of people try to tear me down, but I'm here. And I've always been myself, and I've always wanted. Selena, which one of your songs gets you moving and grooving when you're on your own? That is not something I do often. You know, I will say when I'm with my sister or we're in the car, sometimes like Who Says is one of the songs but I was 16 and that's more of a nostalgic feeling. But no, I don't like listening to myself.
Another trend I don't understand that's happening in Hollywood is veneers. Why are young celebrities getting fake teeth? And it's like all of the celebrities who look nothing like they used to. One example would be Lindsay Lohan. Before, after. New teeth, new skin, new face, no freckles. Where'd the freckles go? Miley Cyrus is another one. What was wrong with the teeth she had just a few years ago? Why would she feel the need to do this? And when I see things like this, I'm wondering what they're trying to sell to the public and how many people are actually buying it. I'll tell you, every time I see this, I think of the movie Uglies, where they go in their original selves and they come out looking and acting and not remembering anything about who they used to be. So you tell me, are you buying what they're selling?
We now have tiny flying cars that do not require you to have a pilot's license. What could go wrong? This is the Pivotal Helix. It's fully electric, weighs less than some motorbikes, and only requires a 2-week training course before you can take to the skies. You don't need a freaking runway to take off or land because it lifts vertically similar to a helicopter. It comes with a parachute and a flotation device, just in case. And by weighing only 348 pounds, it's categorized as an ultralight aircraft, meaning it actually bypasses a lot of US aircraft regulations, which is also why you don't actually need a license to fly. But before you say, take my money, there's almost no point. It can only fly about 20 miles or 20 minutes before the batteries die. There's only one seat for the driver, so no passengers, all alone. And they're still actually banned by the FAA from flying over congested areas such as neighborhoods and cities, so it's not even like you can skip the traffic. And with a starting price of $190,000, it's kind of expensive for a joyride. So the question is, are flying cars still the future, or should we just let it go at this point?
This world makes no sense. You need a license to drive a car, you need an ID to travel anywhere, you need a passport to leave the country. Oh no, y'all could use some flying cars. Yeah, just watch this YouTube video and take off. If I'm sitting here making a video and some smooth-brained person flies through my window and it hits me with a flying car, we're gonna have a problem. And yeah, we're gonna have a problem because I'm probably gonna be in the hospital.
Does this look like a woman to you?
No, I've always thought that.
Hey, the noses match up.
What the heck?
In 1797, there's a guy who did a painting of Lucifer summoning the fallen angels. But if you look at all the different religions of the ancient world and compare their deities, you get Ishtar. Look at this statue of Ishtar.
Oh, wow. Yeah, it has the same kind of spikes.
Oh, weird.
Like, it makes you wonder about the roots of it, the history of it.
The similarities are very weird. It is weird that it looks exactly like that Lucifer painting and has like the 7 things. And then there's that weird verse in Revelation. It says, "Then one of the 7 angels who had 7 bowls came up and said to me, 'Come, I will show you the judgment of the great prostitute who is seated on many waters.'" You can't call America like what they're talking about, but if we have been seduced by these secret societies who are worshiping the same great prostitute that the ancient Romans were, instead of looking at it as one nation, you could look at it as the evil force that has been ruling all of these different nations throughout history. I buy into that. Just a very unresearched, don't base your life on that.
Kanye West just dropped a bombshell about Gucci Mane, and bruh, if what he's saying is true, this might be the wildest thing we ever heard in hip-hop. Everybody remember old Gucci, right? Ice cream tattoo on his face, heavy, wild energy, always in some drama, straight savage mode. Then one day he gets locked up, gone for a minute, and when he came back, whole new dude. Slim, clean, calm, talking positive, moving like a businessman instead of a trap legend. Fans started tripping like, yo, that ain't Gucci, that's a clone. People been saying it for years, but now Kanye's speaking on it and taking it to another level. Kanye start dropping hints, talking about secret programs, labs, the government, and the music game working together to keep the big names in check. He said when an artist wakes up, when they start seeing through the lies, the industry either shuts them down or switches them out. Then folks online started pulling receipts, old pictures versus new ones, saying his facial structure different, his tattoos look off, his voice too smooth. People swear the energy changed, like the real Gucci had fire in his eyes, but this new one got peace, almost robotic. Kanye doubled down, saying, "Look close, the eyes never lie." Some say it's just growth. Man changed his life, got sober, got fit. Others swear they replaced him with a copy. Kanye say it's bigger than Gucci, though he claim it's a system. If you speak too loud, they silence you. If you wake too many people up, they rebuild you. So now the question is, did Kanye just expose the biggest secret in hip-hop, or is he just talking wild again? Whatever the truth is, you can't deny it got everybody watching Gucci a little different.
Y'all, this video crazy as fuck. This man think he witnessed the alien this day. Now, I don't know if it's an alien, but all I know is that John ain't human, fool. The way this shorty was walking was like a robot or some demonic possession type shit. This man beeped the horn, beep beep. Then she turned around all slow and just looked lethargic, fool. And then I don't know what he was saying in the video because he was talking Spanish. So I need somebody to translate what the hell he was saying. Y'all let me know what y'all think this shorty is down below in the comments. You think she a head? You think she a alien like he said? Or something else? Leave it down below in the comments. Watch how she turn around.
Mírala. Dale, pitale. Pitale.
What the fuck is that? Somebody explain to me. I ain't never seen no shit like that. Her face look mushed in, sunken, look black. Then she walking all weird, fool. I'm not gonna lie, just looking at this picture right here, you probably thought this was like CJ from Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. Nah, y'all, I don't know. Let me know down below in the comments what y'all think shorty is.
Thank you guys for watching the video. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Let me know your favorite part of the video made you tremble in your boots, and we're going to be on to the next one.